Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Thomas Jones was a trendy fantasy bust last summer, as it looked like he was so primed to not do what he had done the season before when he enjoyed 15 total touchdowns and a great season with the New York Jets. He had never come close to putting up that kind of touchdown per total in his career before that. With the draft pick of Sean Green and still having Leon Washington, on the team, it just goes to show with the contract problem that he was also having a possible trade last summer that just didn't look like he was going to get the amount of touches that he needed to be that kind of guy, nor did we think maybe he was going to get close to that touchdown total, as he really just had never done that before. Sure, he had a great offensive line. He had a rookie quarterback, so it's not like Brett Favre's back there to have to respect in the passing game. So all these things just pointed to Thomas not being the guy he was the year before. Well, that didn't turn out to be the case whatsoever, as he went over 1,400 yards rushing. He had 14 rushing touchdowns. As it turned out, the team really didn't use Sean Green at all after Leon Washington suffered a season-ending injury in October. They just didn't use Sean Green much at all for the season. They really let Thomas Jones be the guy and be the running back. I think maybe they were just running. He was just playing very good football, and he was the starter, and they were just going to let him be the guy. So with Thomas, he had a great season. With that said, though, it really didn't help him this offseason. The team released him, and he really couldn't find a starting job out there in the NFL at his age, and so he had to take a backup role with the Kansas City Chiefs. I am concerned for Jamaal Charles that Thomas, because of his good touchdown totals that he's shown the last couple seasons, he's proven that he can be trusted to be a guy to get it done inside the red zone for touchdowns. So there is a concern here that Thomas could be the goal line vulture back on this team. But I would say that Jamaal Charles, who was the team's MVP last year, is probably going to get the bulk of the work in the running game. I wouldn't be surprised if Thomas is getting a steady amount of carries early in the season, maybe the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season, but after that, they'll probably let Jamaal Charles run the show. So with Thomas Jones, I think he makes for a guy that's definitely worth stashing, because if he gets an opportunity to start at some point, because Jamaal can get some injuries, he does have a shoulder thing going on this offseason. I think that'll be healed up fine by the time we get to the season. But, he isn't the biggest of running backs, so he can be a little frail, and that is a concern. With Thomas, I think you got to stash him away on your team. And eventually, if he does start winning the goal line opportunities, he's going to have value in that area. But he's probably not a guy that you're going to want to be starting at any point unless Jamaal starts getting dinged up, goes down for a little bit of time.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.